On today's show,
we discussed Jahlil Okafor's future in the NBA and whether OKC's Big Three has looked better or worse than expected.
What are some teams flying under the radar? Which player is likely to fall off?
And with 12 games to go tonight, we debate which squad most desperately needs a win.
It's Wednesday, November 1st. The starter starts now.
Good evening, sweet world, and welcome to The Starters. Whether you're joining us live right now on NBA TV, later on YouTube, listening to the podcast, we're happy to have you. I'm J.E. Skeets, and alongside me a man who finally lost a pick'em payoff. It is the Pumpkinhead himself, Tas Melas.
Haven't lost in 2.5 years. I'll probably lose another 6 in a row. Or is that reverse psychology?
She was right. The international man of mystery taking it to the max. Lee Ellis. Lily, and last, certainly not least, over yonder, it's the bearded one. It's Trey Kirby.
Hey yo!
TK, what's up?
Well, I'm here at the internet looking for your best tweets at hashtag the starters. And guys, today is the first day of November, which means it's also the first day of Movember. And if you'll remember last year, Lee grew out a Merv Hughes style handlebar mustache that lives on to this very day in promotional images that we took while he had the mustache for some reason. Lee raised $10,000 last year, a little bit more actually. But unfortunately, he told us he's not going to be growing a stash this year.
I got a pumpkin on my head.
If you wear a pumpkin on your head for every day this month, I'll grow a moustache, all right? Deal.
What's the reason? You know what?
Well, look, once you've climbed that mountain, you don't want to go up there again. You know, go out on top, 10 grand. It's great.
All right, so Lee is not growing a mustache, but that doesn't mean we're out on November because this year we've got a little bit of a wrinkle. Two of our cameramen here on the show, Rick and Todd, will be growing out their mustaches for November.
Yeah, all right,
Good
go
job,
for it.
guys. Yeah.
$10,000, just like Lee did. And that brings us to today's question. Will Rick or Todd have the better mustache? We've got that question up as a poll on our Twitter page at The Starters where you can get your votes in. We'll check the results a little bit later. But more importantly, donate to our Movember page, please. Like I said, Lee raised a little bit more than $10,000 last year, and that was with just one mustache. Now we've got two of them, so should we be able to get $10,000 easy? I would think so, but please get your donations in, get your votes in. We'll check the results later, and we're going to be looking at those guys' lips for an entire month.
Yeah.
How exciting.
I can't wait. All right, on tonight's show, I will go head to Pumpkinhead here with Tas in Crossfire. How you doing, by the way? It's heavy, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's like a good 30-pound pumpkin that we found.
This is a monster that we found somewhere in some farm. Look at this thing. Look how beat up this thing is.
I know.
There's like tree thorns in it.
Yeah, it stinks a little bit already, so you're a good sport.
No, that's me.
We'll also play fill in the blank, and Lili's got a very solid play, but we're going to start with a little what you got here tonight. If you're new to the show, it's pretty simple. We're going to debate some questions that Trey's going to throw at us. We'll decide on an answer, but you got to be careful. There's only one correct response, and that's whatever Trey says it is. TK, take it away.
Last night was the deadline for teams picking up fourth-year options for the 2015 draft class, and 8 players had their options declined, most notably the Sixers' Jahlil Okafor and the Magic's Mario Hezonja, both of whom were top 5 picks just a couple summers ago. Guys, what was the more surprising declined option, Okafor or Hezonja? What you got?
I think it was Mario Hezonja. He's actually playing for his team. He may have a future with this team. Jahlil Okafor clearly does not. And Mario Hezonja is a player which is suited to the current day NBA. Jahlil Okafor, it's questionable. I really hope Jahlil Okafor finds his way, but Hezonja is a great three-point shooter. He's shooting way over 50% right now.
Well, this season, but for career,
he's not
only
playing a lot.
33%.
He's not shooting a lot. Let's be honest.
That's the problem. They brought him here as a shooter, and he hasn't really been able to shoot. Now, he's had different coaches, both defensive coaches, and that hasn't really gelled with his game. But the problem is with Hezonja, when the three-point shot isn't falling, he hasn't really found another way to be effective on the offensive end if you're not playing great defense. It just makes it hard to keep in the lineup. But it really has to be Jahlil Okafor because he was projected at times to be the number 1 pick in that draft, 2, and then he fell to number 3. But how could he have any confidence in his career in Philadelphia? He lost his first 18 games. They went 10-72 in that first season. He was on the team, and the team was like, we're not trying to win. And then he goes there and he's trying to be successful, and it's just very hard. I think actually for him, the best thing that could happen is go to a different situation. He's a very skilled offensive player, not a great defensive player. He does need to work on that, but we've seen him at Summer League when we interviewed him back a couple of years ago. Very gifted, just in a horrible situation.
Yeah, the Sixers have been trying to trade Okafor for
almost since he got there.
For probably at least 2 seasons now. They obviously couldn't find a partner here. you would assume that teams are trying to say, well, you got to throw in an additional player or you got to throw in a future draft pick if we're going to take on Okafor. And he was in line to make $6.3 million. Now that opens up cap space for the Sixers. He wants to be bought out from the Sixers team. Do you think he can still have a future in this NBA?
Absolutely.
What is he going to be? What is Jahlil Okafor
He can
gonna
definitely be a big man scorer. Teams need
even
that.
off the bench and sort of an Al Jefferson type of role.
We know he's got, like I said, we know he's got the offensive skills. He needs to improve his defensive effort. But again, when you're in a situation where the franchise is basically overlooking a whole season or while you're there, it's hard for him to build any sort of confidence or stability. So he needs to go to a team where they say, we believe in you, we trust you, here are some minutes, go out and do what you can do on the offensive end. He's a talented player. He's a young player. He's got a big future. He just needs to go to a better team.
Interesting to see. Trey, what's the answer, buddy?
Well, I think Hezonja is definitely the more surprising. Like you guys were saying, Jahlil was pretty clearly out of the plans for Philadelphia. But moving on, a nice win for the Thunder last night right here on NBA TV as they beat up on the Bucks in Milwaukee while having 5 different players score in double digits as Paul George led the way with 20. They're now 4-3 on the season, just like 7 other teams. So have the Thunder been better or worse than expected? What you got?
I think without a question, they've been better.
Without a question?
Yeah, they've
That's
been
interesting.
great.
I think chemistry-wise, better.
Right.
Defensively, better.
Right.
Maybe just record not as
Well,
great.
they're
And
4-3.
I'm saying like one game. Yeah, that's
yeah,
exactly
so Andrew
right.
Wiggins doesn't bank home that shot. They're
Right.
5-2.
Right.
But like you said, I mean, there's 3 guys that are around the 20 points per game mark.
Yep.
That is exactly what they wanted. They wanted a Ray Allen, KG, Paul Pierce situation. That's what they got. They got Steven Adams shooting at almost 70%. That's the perfect complement.
And their bench is chipping in Raymond Felton and
Yeah.
Patrick Patterson. They're getting some solid play from those guys. Jeremy Grant had a great game last night.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think it is, especially defensively. They're already the second best defense in the league.
Yeah, it's phenomenal.
I think offensively the key here is even though Carmelo is leading them in field goal attempts, I think he's actually playing the third role because he's getting a lot more catch and shoots, which he didn't get in New York. He had to sort of post up and create for himself. So he's almost happy being that trailer, coming down, they find him, he just grabs it and he shoots it and he looks comfortable, he looks happy. How many times in New York for those last couple of years did Melo just look like he just didn't want to be in that situation? Now he's in a role kind of like Olympic Melo, where he's like, I don't have to do everything. He knows he's going to get shots.
Let me ask you this, though. Okay, 4-3, you're right.
Yeah.
2 losses to the Wolves, 1 to the Jazz. I believe they're the second game of the season. What you've seen from them in the 7 games, do you think they could knock off a team like the Warriors or some of your better teams in the Western Conference, or is that too early to tell?
Well,
The
coming into
potential.
the season, I think we all figured that 29 teams weren't going to knock off the Warriors, and it's going to take some serious chemistry to be able to knock off the Golden State Warriors.
Why you look so angry, man?
What's that?
You always look so angry over there right now.
I'm like Russ.
Yeah.
Got the scowl. Okay, well, what's the answer here, Trey?
Oh, I think they've definitely been better,
Yeah.
too. Like you mentioned, Skeets, they're second in defense. Didn't
Yeah.
expect that to be the case at all. But Halloween just passed, and NBA players were in the spirit from head to toe, literally. Karl Anthony Towns played a game on Monday night, rocking a pair of Friday the 13th Nike Hyper Dunks. And last night, Kyle Kuzma had a pair of Joker-themed Kobe ADs with blood-stained shoelaces. Gnarly, guys. Who had the better Halloween kicks? Was it Towns or Kuzma? What you got?
Towns, yeah.
Easily,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
I mean,
They look awesome.
We always see like either the Christmas kicks or some Easter kicks, or now Halloween kicks. These are some of the best holiday kicks I think we've ever seen. Look at the detail here. You got the cool colorway, like the black and fog there. And then if you look really closely, there's a little bit of splatter on the laces from
They're nice and distressed.
the swoosh machete there. That's
It's
good
distressed
stuff.
just like my head, right? Those look like you want to go mow the lawn. You put on your really crappy 10-year-old shoes.
But imagine you turned up the pickup ball wearing those as well. You'd look awesome.
Are
People would be
you
scared of
a
you.
Friday the 13th fan?
Yes, I am. That was the one horror series that I did
Wow, I
live.
wouldn't expect that answer.
Yeah, man. Jason Voorhees.
You were just all into it.
Yeah, I was. Yeah, it was great down at Camp Crystal Lake. Yeah, it was
You didn't go there. You didn't go to
Yeah, but I felt like I was there, you know.
okay.
But yeah, so I was really happy to see those. But look at Kuzma's as well. They're pretty cool. I thought they were just the Joker. I didn't also immediately think that they were Halloween. But
well.
you know.
I mean, he's wearing them on Halloween.
Yeah, no, I know. But I'm just
It
saying.
does look like, I don't know, looks like
yeah.
his friend did them.
What do they do with those now?
I will say that.
Hey, cuz.
Hey, speaking of cool sneaks, I don't know if
Yeah.
Pumpkinhead can get his feet up here with this pumpkin.
Oh,
man.
yeah, sure.
Look at this, he's matching
Oh, yeah.
Touching his shoes to his head.
Oh, right.
Pumpkin Man gonna come around.
Oh, look at this, Bart Freeman. All right, Lee or Trey, what's the answer here? Which one?
Oh, you guys are right. It's Carl Anthony Towns. He's got a machete swoosh. Never even heard of something like that.
Incredible. All right, we got to take a break. Lots more still to come on the show. I will put my Crossfire belt on the line versus Pumpkinhead Mellis. You won't want to miss this.
Welcome to Crossfire, presented by T-Cell. Here's how it's going to work. The champ and the challenger will go head-to-head for 3 rounds. At the end of it all, I'm declaring a winner, and the winner gets the big gold belt. Here we go.
Hold on, before you start. My secret weapon, please.
Oh, boy. Oh! Let's go,
All
Pumpkinhead.
right, round 1. We're 2 weeks into the NBA season, and some teams continue to stay in the news. The Cavs, the Warriors, the Sixers, etc., etc. What I want to know is, what's a team that no one's talking about? Here we go.
I think it's the Charlotte Hornets. The Hornets are starting to look like the Hornets from 2 years ago when they won 48 games. And what I mean by that is you got Kemba Walker doing Kemba things. He's scoring 24 a game. But then you got Dwight quietly putting up 14 and 15 every night and helping turn the Hornets back into a defensive team. They're ranked 6th in the league in defensive rating. I think the Hornets, they just don't get talked about at all. They're not a sexy team. I'll go with them.
I'd rather wear a pumpkin than watch that team. The one reason to watch the Dallas Mavericks this season was because Dirk was going to get the 5th all-time in scoring. But after watching the first few games of Dirk,
Yeah, I told you he wasn't.
I think the Dirkus circus might be closed after this season. Shut it down. Take that German horse out back. It just doesn't look good for
wow,
Dirk.
man.
It does not look. I mean, he had an 18-point game in his last performance. I really hope Dirk gets the 5th all-time. But unfortunately, as you saw in those clips, he's not being that agile these days.
All right. Round 2. Good stuff, Pumpkinhead. With almost 10% of the season in the books, we've seen some surprising names at the tops of various leaderboards in the early going. But it's time to dash some dreams, guys. Tell me which player is bound to fall off. Here we go.
I'm very pumped for Aaron Gordon finally playing the 4th spot in his 4th year, but he's going to come back to earth. That dunk machine is shooting 59% from three-point land. Isn't it ironic? A dunk machine is going to come back to earth. He's hitting 6 out of 10 of all of his threes. I mean, that shot looks pretty smooth, but no longer Aaron Gordon. Unfortunately, the numbers are just going to drop.
You're very pumped up? You're not very pumpkined up? How did you miss that pun? You've already lost right here. Give me Giannis. Give me Giannis. I can't believe I'm going to say it, but Giannis, the Greek Freak, is going to fall off. There is just no possible way that he can continue to score 34 a night on 64%, 63% shooting. You know what? And I don't want him to. He needs some help. We saw it against the Thunder. It can't be Giannis 24/7. He's got to get some help there. So I think he'll just come back to earth a little bit.
I don't believe it.
Yeah.
All right, close one so far. Round 3 coming right up. In an interview with ESPN's Nick Friedel, Bucks coach Jason Kidd just called Russell Westbrook the Mike Tyson of basketball, but I'm pretty sure Russ doesn't own a tiger, so give me a better Russell Westbrook comparison. Here we go!
I think it's Bo Jackson. Bo Jackson. I mean, there are athletes and then there are super athletes. Westbrook is one of them and Bo Jackson was. Because if you know if Westbrook played football, he would be running through linebackers, stiff-arming cornerbacks into oblivion. If he played baseball, Russ would be stealing home base. And he would be running up walls, and he'd be hitting dingers 450 feet, and he'd be breaking bats over his knees. It's got to be Bo Jackson.
Russell Westbrook is like a washing machine. You know, the first cycle, it's loud, the water comes flushing in, it gets drained out. The second cycle, it spins.
Yep.
It's calm, it's a whirring. Last year, Russell Westbrook was the first cycle. He was mad about Kevin Durant. This year, he's getting everyone involved, the whites, the blacks, the colors of that clothing cycle, and everything is calm.
What are you talking about right now?
Yeah, you know what I mean. You know what I mean. Like a washing machine.
What a competitive round, but the winner is Task. He did it all
You
with
can
a
raise my
pumpkin
hand.
on his head, and we'll strap him up for next week.
Pumpkin Man, go to Cover Rico.
Quick break. When we return, we will debate which team most desperately needs a win tonight. Don't go anywhere. You're watching The Starters. Welcome back to The Starters. It's time for a little fill-in-the-blank fun. Trey, what's our first one?
We've got a busy night in the association as 24 of the league's 30 teams will be in action this evening. And you can catch all the big finishes from those 12 games at 9 p.m. tonight on Crunch Time right here on NBA TV. Guys, fill in the blank. Blank. Most need a win tonight.
Ooh, I like that. Who you guys got?
I'm going with the Denver Nuggets, actually. Started off a little bit slowly, 3-4, but 5 of their first 7 games have been on the road. They now start a big stretch, 7 of the next 8 at home, so they should get back on track since Millsap's come along. The defense has improved, but their offense has sort of cooled off a little bit.
And playing the Raptors
They're
tonight.
playing the Raptors, I know. Raptors are playing very well right now, so it's going to be tight, but I think the Nuggets just need to get one. This is a team that I predicted will make the playoffs this season, and obviously it's early, but they're not in the playoff race right now.
Okay.
I'm worried about the Houston Rockets a little bit. I'm worried that they're sort of reverting back to their old type of style, not really getting it done at the end of games, not being gritty is what I'm worried about. I thought coming in, the additions of PJ Tucker and Luke Bahamute and Chris Paul would make them gritty and strong. And watching their first 3 games, I thought, wow, This is really working. This is working far better than the Thunder are working out. But since then, they just don't. They don't look gritty. They don't look tough. Chris Paul being out of the lineup is probably the recipe, the ingredient that sort of makes them tough and makes them great. So I just hope that they can sort of tread water and not revert back until Chris Paul comes back. Because I really believe this was a Warriors contender before the season started.
To the best of my knowledge, the Nuggets and the Rockets, though, are not having lengthy pre-practice meetings like the Cleveland Cavaliers already are here. That's why I got to say...
But they play in the West, they don't play in the East.
Fair enough, but the Cavs, I'm going to go with the Cavs. I think they need this win tonight because, we heard, Coach Lou talked about it. Yep, we got the team meeting on Tuesday before practice. We cleared the air. Maybe we can reset our season. I mean, we are 7 or 8 games in here, and we're already having these. They had they had the LeBron's Halloween party. They've had bad losses.
That's what they need.
To Orlando, Brooklyn, the Pelicans, and the Knicks. If you lose to the Knicks, and I know the Knicks are rolling right now, the sky is falling, and that's what happened. That's why they had the meeting. So they need that win tonight. They're playing a very tough Pacers team, so it's not going to be an easy win. A very improved Pacers team. So I think I'll go with the Cavs, but all solid answers there. All right, what's the next one, Trey?
All right, on Monday night, our close personal friend Shaquille O'Neal guest hosted Jimmy Kimmel Live, and he was great. Take a look.
I have all the things you need to host this show. A suit, a band, a stupid, no-talent nemesis. See, Jimmy has Matt Damon, and I have Charles Barkley. He's like a balder, fatter Matt Damon.
Fill in the blank. If he had one, Shaq's late-night talk show would be called blank.
The Big Conversation.
Oh, I went with The Big Show.
Big Show, he's a wrestler.
Whoa, it's The Big
That's
Show.
trademarked, isn't it?
I don't know if it's trademark. Yeah, you think Vince McMahon's got that trademark?
He might
Probably
have, yeah.
does. But yeah, something big's got
Yeah,
to
it
be
has
in
to
the
be
title,
the
right?
Big. I mean, all his other nicknames are the Big something, and I think he'd be quite good at it. He's a charming fellow.
Did you watch the on
Yes,
Monday night when he guest
interviewed-
hosted?
Yeah, he interviewed Mila Kunis. It was great. It's excellent.
You were
Thank you
watching
for that
you
information.
were watching
Yeah.
for Mila Kunis,
Yeah.
not Shaq. Okay, what are you going with? Pumpkin?
I didn't include Big, but I went with the pun, Radio Shack. This is probably trademark, but I'm okay with it. He loves puns, number 1.
Right.
Number 2, he's an old guy. He loves old things.
it's a
Radio
t-
Shack's old.
But it's a TV show.
Yeah, I know.
Maybe it's going to be simulcast.
Can't
Is it
argue
going to be
with the pumpkin.
simulcast? Maybe?
It could be simulcast or
Yeah.
it could be simulcast. One of the two.
Either one.
I thought he did a pretty solid job filling in for
Yeah,
Kimmel.
he's good. He's
you
good on
could
camera.
see him. I mean, I don't know if you could have Shaq could do it every night, but I like the idea of him subbing in.
Yeah.
Every once in a while, and he nailed it. You got to go check the clips out. All right, final one here, Trey.
All right, also on the docket for tonight, the World Series is going to Game 7, baby!
Game 7.
Game 7 between the Astros and Dodgers, 2 baseball teams. Guys, fill in the blank. Your World Series Game 7 prediction is blank. Give me some baseball facts.
We got the Rounders music.
Yeah.
Who's going to be toeing the rubber tonight?
I can't give you any facts, but I know we're going to see this at some point, an epic Magic Johnson tweet. He's the part owner there of the Dodgers, and Magic often tweets, and we often enjoy his tweets. This is what he tweeted actually after Game 5 of the World Series. He said, in 1988, my Showtime Lakers were down 3-2 against the Pistons. We returned to LA for Game 6 and 7 to become NBA
No,
champions.
Magic Johnson tweets will be like, I love baseball for the following reasons. The crack of the bat, the smell of the grass, the hot dogs,
He's
the
gonna-
pine tar, the bases, first base, second base, third base.
He's going to be humble in victory or defeat. so
I'm
that's why
sorry, I
it's
had to
gonna
say that. I'm good. My prediction is I won't be watching.
Wow.
Here's why. Here's why. We
Why?
got to play ball tonight right after the show.
Yeah.
So that's a couple
Gotta do
hours
it.
there. We got to go play ball. If you watch ball, you got to play ball. It's one of the rules. 12 games on. You already said, Trey. Survivor's on.
Huge.
I'm just not going to be able to get to this World Series Game 7. I'm
Huge
sorry.
night. It's big time.
I'm not
I'll
gonna
tell
be able to get to
you,
it.
you can fit it all in because baseball #1, it's long. It'll be on till 1
That's
a.m.
true.
You can tune in. And it's going extra innings. And Justin Verlander, pitcher for the Houston
Wow,
Astros,
wow.
is
Whoa.
going to pinch run.
Wow.
Yeah, he's going to pitch run just like Smoltzy back in 1992.
Interesting.
And he's going to score the winning run.
So you got the Astros.
got the stroke.
Who are you taking?
I'm going the Dodgers.
I'm going Dodgers 5-4. I will say that. Trey, who you
Okay.
got?
Oh, I'm a
7-2.
Stro bro as well. They got a lot of beards. I love it.
You guys want to put a pumpkin head on the line?
Yeah, it's that same pumpkin head.
All right, we got to take one more break. But when we come back, Lily is going to hit us with a very solid play. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back to the starters. There's cameraman Rick and cameraman Todd. These guys are going to be growing mustaches for a good cause. For Movember, raising money for men's health, we have a poll up. Who's going to have the better mustache? People have spoken.
55% of people think it's Rick.
I don't know.
We're gonna have a major
rivalry.
rivalry here all month long. Donate, please. Hit up our page. Donate.
Please do. All right. Tonight's Pick and Play, we started all over again. Another pumpkin head is on the line. Raps Nuggets. Trey taking the Nuggets. Lee, you're taking the Raptors with Tass and I after just you got done telling us the Nuggets.
I said the Nuggets need a win. I didn't say
All
they're
right.
necessarily going to get
Wow,
one.
VSP.
Yeah, VSP here from the Lakers. It's a very good one. Yeah, as you see, the ball is zipping around,
Oh, yeah.
fizzing
Yeah.
around.
Is it zipping or
Finishes,
fizzing?
yeah, zipping and fizzing. It can be either. It can be both. But yeah, beautiful stuff from the Lakers. Starting to play some eye-catching basketball this season, which is good.
Nice win
Big
last
Brook
night.
over to KCP for 3. That's what I call a very solid play.
8 guys in double digits for the Lakers right now. Wild.
We got some fan signs.
Yes, this one is from Matt, not producer Matt, but Matt out in Dallas was at the Mavs and Sixers game on Saturday night, and then on Sunday
Okay.
we had a beautiful sign here from a pair of 5-year-olds. That's Aubrey and Sebastian who worked together to put this fan sign together. You can see all of us there too.
Perfect.
Yeah, you have to use your imagination a little bit, but they did a great job.
When you were at the game there, a photo got posted, and we wanted to point it out because you're eating food while this photo is being taken. What are you eating?
Yes, they were the pretzel bites. Garlic
Cool.
pretzel bites. They're
We'll
great.
see you guys
They're great.
tomorrow night, 7 p.m. Eastern.
You hungry for dessert, Lee? I'll make you some pumpkin
No
pie.
thanks.
It's free.